Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So as the title suggests, I'm going to be talking about whether or not I'm going to be purchasing the new Tom Ford fragrances, Electric Cherry and Cherry Smoke, and whether or not I'm going to be purchasing the new replica fragrance called On a Date. I was able to finally go in store and spray the testers because I told you guys in a previous video that I was not going to blind buy the Tom Ford cherry fragrances, the new ones that are out, even though, you know, I was very tempted, just because that price tag has climbed up astronomically. Like, it was already expensive, and I feel like now it's, I don't know, it's just reached I feel like it went from luxury price, like fragrance price, to like niche fragrance price, right? Okay, I digress. So let me just go ahead and give you a synopsis of each one. I'm gonna start off with the Tom Ford Electric Cherry. So I have this one on this arm. Longevity of both Tom Ford fragrances are just as good as Lost Cherry. It will last you, well, on me, because, you know, fragrance is very subjective, and I feel like this is one of the most controversial topics when it comes to Tom Ford. There are some people in a camp that say it has zero longevity, it doesn't last on their skin, and then there's some people that say, oh, you know, it does well with my pH, it lasts all day, etc. I'm in the camp where, thankfully, the Tom Ford fragrances do last long on my skin. With that said, longevity of Electric Cherry and Cherry Smoke are just as good as the original OG Lost Cherry. Now, with Electric Cherry, when I first sprayed it, it had a medicinal kind of smell, almost like, have you guys ever smelled children's cherry Tylenol? The liquid version, you guys know what I'm talking about? That's what it smells like right at first. Once it dries down, about 15 minutes, I would say, after, it starts to smell very, very pleasant. Kind of starts to smell like a cherry candy. Kind of like if Jolly Rancher had like a cherry kind of candy. I'm just trying to think. I'm not a candy connoisseur. I actually don't eat candy, but I know what it smells like. Anyway, like a cherry blow pop. Like a cherry lollipop. Then after about, I would say 30 minutes, 40 minutes, the floral scent really starts to take over, and there is very little cherry left in the fragrance. It smells absolutely amazing. Electric Cherry does have more of a fresh, youthful aspect to it. Not necessarily that it's like for teenage girls, like that's not where I'm going with that, you know. Just like there are fragrances that when you smell them, it just reminds you that it's like a little bit more youthful, a little bit less serious. That's what I mean. A little bit less serious is a better way to explain it. It's a wonderful overall floral fragrance on me, because after like 40 minutes, I can't smell any cherry. I'm just left with a beautiful combination of floral tones is what I can, you know, pick up. You guys know that I'm not a fragrance connoisseur, so my descriptions of fragrances are terrible, also very raw, but I know that there's other people like me out there, and so I'm here for you. It is just a bouquet of flowers is what it smells like. And for it to be named Electric Cherry, I would have wanted that cherry scent to actually last longer more than the floral. To have the floral be in the background, but have it still be heavy on the cherry, if that makes sense. So that's Electric Cherry. Electric Cherry smells amazing, don't get me wrong. It's an amazing, it's a lovely fragrance. Truly, it's elegant, it's beautiful, it's sophisticated, it's lovely. However, it's part of the Lost Cherry like family, so I wanted there to be more cherry in there. And unfortunately, on my skin, all I'm left with is flowers. So moving on to Cherry Smoke. Oh, I didn't even tell you if I was gonna buy it. So for right now, Electric Cherry is gonna be a fragrance that I will purchase only if I can get on sale. I would not purchase it full price because that cherry note that I feel is uncommon and unique in the fragrance world, it's just not there. It doesn't last for me. Moving on to Cherry Smoke, which I sprayed on this arm. So this one is actually the complete opposite of Electric Cherry. This one actually punches you right in the throat with the scent of cherries. And I know that that's a very aggressive description of a fragrance, but it's the best way I can describe it. When you first spray it, before it even dries down, it just punches you in the face with it. Somebody just slapped you across the face with like a bouquet of cherries, if that was even possible. And then it dries down, and it is very cherry heavy for, I would say, the first 15 minutes of the fragrance, and then it takes a turn. So once it's been dried down after like 15 minutes, you really start to smell Tom Ford Ombre Leather. I own that fragrance. I bought it for my husband. I love the way that that fragrance smells on him. And so I know it well. And this Cherry Smoke smells like if you sprayed yourself with Lost Cherry and then you layered Tom Ford Ombre Leather on top. So you still have that constant cherry scent, but the ombre leather is just a little bit more overpowering, and that's what you're left with. Definitely Cherry Smoke is gonna be one of those fragrances that for me, if I close my eyes, I can totally see male or female wearing this fragrance. I think it's very unisex, and it does smell absolutely amazing. Amazing. It smells so good. This one is one that I would purchase full price. Not right now, because I'm going to be waiting for that spring Sephora sales event. Lord knows I don't need any more fragrances, but I may get this one out of the two. Once it dries down and you've had it on for several hours, the ombre leather starts to subside after, I would say, like the 4-hour mark. It starts to subside a little bit, and it starts to smell a little bit powdery. And you guys know I'm not a super big fan of powdery fragrances, but it's pleasant because, again, that cherry note is still there, you know, it's still present. It hasn't disappeared. It's still very constant in the fragrance, which is what I wanted in Electric Cherry. I feel like this is going to be a fragrance that I'm going to be able to smell even after I shower. I can feel it. just because I sprayed this on my arm. I've been wearing a chunky sweater and it's holding on strong. So anywho, it's a very elegant fragrance, very unisex, but that's exactly what it smells like. It smells like you got Lost Cherry and Ombre Leather by Tom Ford, and you sprayed those two, you layered them together, and you got cherry smoke. That's the best way that I can describe this fragrance. So highly, highly recommend cherry smoke to those of you who have a similar taste and fragrance as I do. Moving on to the new Replica perfume, the new fragrance called On a Date. Let's chat, shall we? You remember when a couple weeks back, I did a review on the Rihanna Fenty Beauty fragrance, and I felt personally insulted that some people thought that fragrance smelled like cat urine on their skin. But then, you know, I understood, you know, the pH of everybody is, you know, it's different. Like, fragrance is not the same on everyone's skin. Like, there's a lot of things that go into changing that smell, etc. Okay. I sprayed this new fragrance on a date on one of those like paper blotter cards. I smelled it and it smelled nice. It smelled like, it had an herbiness to it, you know, kind of like fresh grass almost, and then like hints of like some florals in there. But then I sprayed it on my skin, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but when I sprayed it on my skin, it literally smelled like cat urine. And I was immediately eating all of my words that, you know, about the people who said that the Fenty perfume smelled like cat urine on their skin, because the Replica fragrance On a Date literally smells like cat urine on my arm. When I first sprayed it, 15 minutes after it dried down, 20 minutes, half an hour, I'm still wearing it. It smells less like cat urine now. I have a lot more like floral powdery smell to it, with a little bit of herbiness, but mostly cat urine. So that's a no for me. And I just want to go ahead and apologize to all of you who said that the Fenty Beauty fragrance smelled like cat urine on you. I am so sorry that I was harsh. I take back, I understand now, you know, and this is the perfect example of why fragrance reviews are so subjective. They are subjective opinions. Why? Because our skin just changes the whole kind of DNA of a fragrance. We are not all the same. So something that may smell good on me may not smell good on you, and vice versa. I would recommend that you don't blind buy any of these 3 fragrances. You go to your local store. They should have the testers by now. I live in the States, and most of the department stores, if not all of them, have received the testers for these fragrances. Smell it, spray it on yourself, walk around. Don't even come back, go home. Let it dry. Have it on the entire day. And then form your opinion, and then decide whether you want to drop like $300 on a Tom Ford fragrance, or you want to buy the Replica, which is not as expensive, but still, I don't want anything that's gonna smell like cat urine. I don't, like, not even for a second. Like, not even when I spray it and I'm like, does that? No, never want it to smell like cat urine, ever. That's not really what I'm going for, not really my style. And I just want you to know that I could not wait until the fragrance kind of like disappeared on my skin. The Replica fragrance has a good longevity, not as strong as the Tom Ford, It does smell much softer now that the day has ended. Much more faint, but it does not smell good on me at all. Okay, it is painful. It has been a painful process to have this on my arm all day just so that I could film this video. And I was gonna do this tomorrow when I had like better lighting and the sun was out, but no, I wanted to do it while my thoughts were fresh. And this is just my personal opinion. I really didn't like it. So I'm gonna go ahead and assume that all the people that thought that the Fenty Beauty fragrance smelled like cat urine on them, maybe those people are gonna love the replica on a date fragrance. Maybe the on the date fragrance is gonna smell like what it's supposed to smell on those individuals. If you smelled it and you tried it on or you bought it, please let me know if that replica fragrance has worked out for you, because I would like to know what it's actually supposed to smell like on other people. Please just leave me a quick comment like, hey, the best way I could describe this is boom, it smells like, I don't know, like a vineyard, right? So like, not that I know what a vineyard, you know, smells like, but I'm sure those of you who like live in California, Napa Valley, know what that scent is. So please just kind of give me your take on it. Also, if you purchase the Electric Cherry and Cherry Smoke fragrances, I would love to hear from you. What do you think? How does it dry down on you? And that's pretty much it. I just wanted to keep this short and sweet. And so I will definitely be picking up Cherry Smoke at some point. Electric Cherry is tentative. We'll see. It's not like a must-have for me, but I am gonna wait for like the Sephora spring sale to purchase Electric Cherry. I'm not gonna just drop that astronomical amount of money on something that doesn't have that heavy cherry scent, you know? And I just wanna end this video by saying, those of you who love Lost Cherry, that is the OG in this cherry family. Nothing else is gonna smell like it. These fragrances do not compare to Lost Cherry. They don't smell anything like Lost Cherry. So they are distant cousins is what they are. They're distant cousins. I think that Lost Cherry is a very unique fragrance, and both of these just don't come close to even. She's still the queen. She is still the queen. So thank you so much for watching. Did you guys see that? Was that a gnat? Am I going crazy? Okay, the things that happen on this channel. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, I will leave my Instagram handle below. I do post a lot of swatches and just like beauty stuff, empties, some life things. So if you're interested in that, you can follow me there. And that is the only other social platform I'm on, because I can't handle another, like a third platform. I'm just, I could barely handle this platform. So thank you so much for watching. Appreciate you, and see you next time. Bye.